Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the all new Saucony Endorphin Elite in this crazy lime green colorway. Billed as one of the fastest ever shoes, not from just Saucony, but in the world. So does it live up to the hype? We'll be putting it through its paces. And now it's time to give you my full, impartial, unbiased review. Sit back, relax, let's get this video done. So it's great to see you again for another video, and if you are new around here, why not consider subscribing? Got loads of reviews and documenting all of our race training as we build up to the London Marathon this year. Super excited for that. And will I be wearing this shoe? Well, we'll be hoping to answer some of that question today. Now, as with all of our videos, we'll split this video up into various sections. So we start out talking about all of the facts and figures. We're going to go through my likes, my dislikes. We're going to compare it to the Endorphin Pro, the sort of the shoe one down in the Saucony range, and then we're going to have a chat about some of the other competitors, and finally, who's it for and is it going into my rotation? That all important question. Right, let's start out with the facts and figures. So this is an all new shoe from Saucony. It's not replacing anything. It's going to be their new flagship super shoe, one above the Endorphin Pro, which is this sort of bright pink color here. So let's have a chat about some of the facts and figures. So starting out with the price, as always, in all of our videos, I bought this 100% with my own money from the sports shoes website here in the UK. So we can give you this completely unbiased, impartial review. Now this set me back £280. In Europe, it's going to be €300. In America, you're getting a bit of a, can we say, bargain compared to the other ones you can at $275. For sort of comparison wise, if you take the British GBP price, it's around $340. So it's a lot more expensive in the UK and Europe comparatively than it is in America. In terms of stack height, 39.5 mil. The legal limit at the back of the shoe, 31.5 mil, giving that 8 mil overall drop. In terms of weight, coming in at 256 grams for me in my UK size 12, just a smidge lighter than the Pro model here, but a significant weight reduction if you compare it to something like the Alphafly, which is around about 310 grams. So nice lightweight race shoe here. It's a neutral shoe, and this is very much, as I just said, a race shoe, or maybe for some of your speed work as well. It's a road shoe, and we've got this knit and mesh upper here, very sort of breathable. You see lots of air getting through. So you can see on the screen now, you can see my hands underneath it. Lots of airflow getting through there as you run. What is new with this shoe is this midsole. This is a brand new foam from Saucony. They're calling it the Power Run HG, which they are saying is giving a 95% energy return, which is huge in running shoe terms. Very bold figures there. Power Run HG, not entirely sure what HG stands for. Some people are saying Holy Grail. Some people are saying it's the chemical symbol for mercury. I don't know. If you know, let us know down in the comments. Slightly firmer than the Power Run PB foam that you get in the Pro. And of course, it has a carbon plate in here, although what Saucony are saying is this slotted carbon plate. It's not a solid carbon plate all the way through. It's sort of a bit like your hand. It splays out at the end. Very similar to how Adidas have it with their rods on the bottom of their shoes. Sort of splays out. Again, slightly different shape and geometry from the Pro, which has a standard sort of S-curve plate running through it. In terms of the outsole on the shoe, very sort of minimal rubber here. There are no different widths available. It does come in the men's fit and the women's fit. Slightly different foot shapes there. It was true to size for me. And finally, a couple of other little points. Saucony say it is vegan and it does contain some recycled materials. How much? We don't know. Right, let's move on to the likes. So I've used this shoe in a couple of speed sessions so far, and also a half marathon race last weekend at the Woking Half, running 1:16 high. Just sort of a solid effort for me there. Really enjoyed running it. This is a fast shoe, without a doubt. There's no ifs and buts here. It is a super fast shoe. It gets you nicely up on your toes and it just begs you to go faster. This shoe only knows one pace, which is all out fast. It's really fun. It brings a smile to your face. It just wants to push the pace all the time and it feels fast. It is a slightly different geometry, different setup from the Pro model here. The way your foot sits in it, it tilts you forward. Really enjoyed running in it. I quite like this crazy colorway as well. You just feel good in it on the start line. You're tilted forward, you're ready to go, and it means business. My second like is this sort of rocker at the front of the foot. It's very aggressive, maybe the most aggressive rocker I've seen. If you're not sure what the rocker means, it's just simply that sort of angle there. It just wants to always sort of tip you forward and move forward as you go. The ride is really quite nice. Now, as I said earlier, the foam is slightly firmer than the foam in the Pro. If you've got the leg strength to really get the most out of that, then you're really going to be able to deliver some really good results here. There's no doubt about it, it's extremely responsive. It's also very stable, surprisingly stable when you are cornering and things. There's not much lateral movement side to side there. And my final like is it's light. It's the lightest shoe I have been wearing out of the super shoes. Just a smidge lighter than the Vaporfly, a big chunk lighter than the Alphafly, and also a little, about 10 or 15 grams lighter than the Adios Pro. It's light, it's breathable. I like how the airflow is coming through the shoe here. And as I say, once you get up to speed, it just gives you confidence. You don't feel like you're dragging a big weight around with you. It doesn't have a big sort of clunky feel to it. Right, let's move on to the dislikes. Quickly guys, if you are finding the video useful, please smash that like button and answer today's question of the day. What running shoes are you most excited for in 2023? It'd be great to get your feedback, and then we can get some orders in and get them reviewed on the channel. Right, back to the video. Now, my first dislike is all about the back of the shoe. Now, when I first put this shoe on and sort of walked to where I was going for a run, I was getting a lot of heel slip at the back, so I had to stop straight away, do the heel lock at the front, and that got rid of it. And then once I was up running, it was okay. Still getting just a little bit of heel slip that I haven't been able to get rid of. Now, it doesn't have a traditional heel counter at the back of the shoe. It has this thing that I've never quite seen before, but it's nice and padded with where your Achilles is going to sit. But yeah, it's just quite hard to get that exact good lockdown at the back of the shoe. But it's just something to be aware of. You might have to tweak around with the lacing a little bit. Just this back of the shoe design, it did not work for me. Now, my second dislike is just this shoe is not versatile at all. This is very much the kind of shoe just to do racing. You're going to have to buy some other shoes as part of your rotation with this one. It's very clunky if you're just running at easy pace, trying to walk around and stuff. It's not very comfortable. Yeah, you can obviously do your warm up for a race, but you don't want to go for a long, easy run in something like this. This is happy at marathon pace and faster. My third sort of thing to touch on now, I have quite narrow feet, and this is quite a wide shoe. If you're a wide-footed runner, you're going to really like something like this. It's definitely one of the wider shoes I have used, wider super shoes that I've used. But because my feet are a little bit narrow, I'm getting a good bit of bunching up at the front of the shoe. Kind of depends, obviously, whether that might be a big positive or a negative, depending on what type of foot you have. It didn't really impact anything for me. It's just an observation that it was all sort of bunching together there. And then finally, you know, the price. £280, $275. It's a hell of a lot of money for a shoe that you are going to have to buy something else to go with it to do your easier runs, your recovery runs, and things like that. Shoe prices are just going through the roof at the moment with the Vaporfly 3 about to come out. Not sure where that is going to pitch just yet, but yeah, we'll get that in as soon as we can. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks for that review. Another potential issue with the shoe is this very aggressive rocker. Now, it is good in terms of you're looking for that all-out speed and your race day shoe, but where your toes are going to be sort of curled up like that, it can be a bit of a trigger for some plantar fasciitis with some people. My plantar is just a little bit tender after the race that I did in the shoe, something I haven't felt before in other shoes. It's fine long term. I've been rolling it out and we're going to have no issues there. It's just something to be aware of if you're someone that does suffer with plantar issues. This type of shoe and the very aggressive rocker could exacerbate that a little bit. So how does it compare to some of the other models out there? Well, the Alphafly is a very unique ride. It really doesn't suit everybody. It's very sort of narrow through the midfoot. You've got the AirPods out there as well. Without doubt, a very, very fast shoe. Just not very comfortable. The Endorphin Elite, a little bit more comfortable, and I think it's just not quite as fast for me. It is very, very close. If you're looking at speed, and this is a 10, this is a 9.5. It's a very different ride, a lot chunkier, a lot heavier, a lot more clunky, just not as nice to run in. This one is much more fun to run in, but I think if you're looking at overall speed, just not quite there. In terms of the Vaporfly, very, very similar shoes. And I think for me, this is very much on par on speed. It'd be really hard pressed to find what is better. Really excited for version 3 coming out soon. Both very comfortable, both very breathable, very lightweight. It's really hard to pitch the two here. If you want to try something different, you could definitely go for something like this. But I think for me, the Vaporfly is just slightly more comfortable. And for me, the speed is very, very similar. Now, in terms of the differences between the Pro and the Elite slightly firmer ride with that new foam. It's got that more aggressive geometry. Your feet are just sitting slightly more forward in the shoe, more racing and speed work only. This is a bit more of a universal shoe. It's a bit more versatile. Your easy runs, your steady state runs, and your racing as well. In terms of the stack heights and everything and the drop, they're both exactly the same, and the weight is also very, very similar as well. A bit more of a traditional heel counter on the back of the Pro there, just adding that little bit of extra comfort for me between the two. So in terms of what I would recommend, well, the Pro has been out for about sort of 6-7 months now, and you can get some good deals on this. The best I found about £167, I think, in the UK, and it's going to suit the vast majority of runners a lot better because you're going to be able to use it for far more different types of running. It's not quite as fast as this one, but it's going to get you 95% of the way there. But if you just want the best of the best, the all-out shoe, money's not a problem for you, then, you know, without doubt, this is an incredibly fast shoe. I've no hesitation in recommending it. Is it going to my rotation? Yeah, well, it very much is. I'm going to keep it. It's a definite contender for my next race. Probably going to be between this and the potential new Nike shoe, the Nike Vaporfly version 3 for London Marathon. Can't wait to test it out, and we'll do some proper heads-to-heads. But right now, this is definitely in my top 3. It's just not quite there for that all-out speed compared to the Alphafly, but definitely really enjoyed testing it. Very much recommended. If you've got the budget for it, then give it a go. So that's it, guys. I hope you found the video useful. If you did, please smash that like button. And answer today's question of the day down below is, what running shoes are you most looking forward to in 2023? We'll try and get some of them in for review here on the channel. Saucony have absolutely smashed it out the park with this one. Really excited. I'm actually off to put another run in this one right now as well. I hope your running is going well, and we'll see you very soon in the next one.